Well, I thought I'd give a little hay update. We have finished our first cutting of horse quality hay, and we finished yesterday just as we were getting done. The rain came, and I mean, it was a thunderstorm. The clouds just opened up. We got our wagon in the barn, which I'll show a little bit later. I feel like unless things just turn really dry, we're going to have a second cutting, and this is the first part of June, and I'd like to try a second cut around the 4th of July if one presents itself. We had an extraordinary window of weather. No rain, full sunshine, low humidity down in the 40s, 45%, steady breeze, and we couple that with a mower conditioner, our impeller tines on our Chrome mower conditioner, and then tedding the hay. We just had a really good first cutting. So I'm in the truck here, kind of driving around, making my way up there. I'll be cutting this. Again, this will be cow and goat hay. That's what we do next. We kind of start gleaning the fields. It's raining again. Pretty much rained all day today, but you know, with some thunderstorms. So this field right here, we cut and tedded it twice. We really didn't need to. It's so dry up here, you know, obviously. The creek is way down that way. If the creek ever gets up here, we've got Noah's Ark conditions. But this made some really nice hay, and we got it baled up. And what I'll do is I'll walk down here. So what I'll do is I'll come down through here, hopefully with my sickle mower. And I mean, it looks like a grassy field, and it is, but it used to be a lot of trees and pine trees and cedars and things like that. And there's a bunch of remnants up there. And so there are stumps all out through there. You know, they might be 6 inches high, something like that. I see a bale of hay we didn't pick up. Making a bale of hay sometimes hit that kicker wagon for me can be a challenge. But one of the things I tried to do when I come up here spreading seed with a broadcaster is I try to throw it on out. I'm of the opinion that Timothy can be just as torturous to a weed as the vice versa. And so you can see here some Timothy that has come in, but in the hay I cut, you can see the color of the Timothy in it. There's not too many heads, even though we're out here around the 1st of June. Normally the grass would be polluted with Timothy heads, but this year it wasn't. And I think the cold weather that we had kind of put a damper on the Timothy coming up, and but it seemed like the orchard grass and fescue that's mixed in with it, it didn't have any problem. And so my dilemma was, do I wait on the Timothy, you know, to really come in? Because as you can see right here, it's just starting to emerge. You know, it's just starting to come out of the boot. And you know, do I wait another couple weeks on that? And in doing so, you know, the fescue and orchard grass that's in the hay turns kind of brown, like that stuff over there. And now I got hay that's two-tone green and brown. So I decided I wanted this year to try to cut a little earlier. And I'd hoped that particularly this Timothy right here is Claire Timothy. I'd especially hoped that it would come in, and but it didn't. Or at least the heads didn't come in. And so, but the hay, I'll show you the hay that I baled here towards the end of the video. And it's just beautiful green hay. It's cleanest hay. I believe this is the cleanest hay I've ever made. And the reason I say that is I'm always skeptical when people say weed-free hay. I'm very skeptical of these ads, Craigslist ads, and people that talk about weed-free hay. I don't feel like my hay's weed-free, but it is minimal weed. And this year it's particularly clean. And I've got a video where I was spraying, and but I think maybe what assisted with the weed-free hay in a lot of ways was there was so much, there's so many late frosts, and it just makes me wonder if that didn't kind of burn some of the weeds and keep them from coming in quite as soon. You know, it's lamb's quarter, which up here we call a stickweed, and other plants like that. So this is starting to green back over again. It's only been a couple of days since we took the hay off, and so I hope we'll get a second cut up here. As you ride along this road, you can see some tall green little clumps of grass. And like I had mentioned, I try to sow Timothy in here, and I just throw it in the fence rows and everywhere. And what I want is it to be the weed of choice, and you can see it. And we won't cut these areas, and it'll go to seed, and hopefully there'll be more and more and more Timothy that'll just naturally come up. Right there's some right there, and this is Claire Timothy. I just like to throw it out and let it grow and kind of take over, really. I just wanted to get out here for a minute and just talk about, you know, again, over the next few weeks we'll be mowing this hay right in here. And then the reason I'm using a sickle bar instead of a mower conditioner is it breaks away, and I don't have a 3-point disc mower, so I got a decent sickle mower. And so in as much as it's cow and goat hay, maybe especially for cows, a little dust is not quite so bad. But the horse quality hay is what really takes a lot of attention, and takes a lot of luck to get it in the right weather pattern. Customers want it clean, they want it green, they want it, you know, mold and dust free, they want good test results. And here's some more Timothy. And so this will be cow and goat hay, but it's starting to rain pretty good. Let me climb back in the truck. So every year, after every cutting, we kind of reevaluate, you know, what we're doing as far as hay goes, and our technique and things like that. And as our Timothy fields have aged, and you know, to my surprise, or maybe it shouldn't be, orchard grass has come in, and some fescue, but really mostly orchard grass. And so we're pondering the possibility of doing more and more of a nice clean green mixed grass hay. And we're also pondering whether we should try to do more cow and goat hay, and kind of re-wickering our strategy here that with a full-time day job, you know, should we take bite-sized, manageable cuts of hay that we can get up and get in the barn. And this last time, you know, we put everything down, everything that was of horse quality, and it was a monumental task for the labor that I had, which is my family and me, and I used vacation from work to be able to get the hay in. And the question I'm asking is, you know, is that really a smart way to go for this farm, or should I consider more manageable cuts of hay? So this field down in there, we cut it first and baled it up first, and we have some really nice hay off of it. It's truly 3-day hay. Cut one morning and tedded the second day, raked and baled the third day. Very heavy. This field probably produced it was over, I'd say it was about 110 bales to the acre. The big field that we first looked at, it's going to be close to 140 bales per acre. But I really put the fertilizer to these fields. I only have so much land to work with, so I try to maximize the yield. So this is the field in my videos where I talked about the creek being on the other side, and as you can see, I've got hay down and it's getting rained on, and not much I can do about it. This hay had problems to start with. The ground is saturated, and right out in that area right in there, it's actually puddled. So I wasn't too concerned about losing some of this hay. It's not that much in here, but it was going to be very difficult to get dry in the window that we had. Now, having said that, I won't just let this hay lay in here and rot, and I also won't take it and gather it up and put it over at the edge of the field. We'll still rake this hay up and bale it, and we'll sell it. And somebody will give us anywhere from $1 to $3 a bale. So this rain is supposed to stop this evening, and there's 4 days of sunny weather. And so we'll be tedding this field and trying to get everything fluffed up so we can bale it and get it off the field. You know, some people tell me, they'll say, you know, I'd never sell hay that got rained on like that, and my question is, why not? If somebody wants to buy it and you tell them exactly what it is, they know what they're buying, then I don't see a problem. So just like the other fields, you can see this one's starting to green up some too. So here's some of the hay we have. Actually, here's a lot of the hay we have. And when I talk about, you know, the rain and getting the wagons off the field, this barn was designed specifically to get the wagons in here out of the rain so we can unload them later. And what we do is we try to unload the sides, try to unload the hay off onto the sides and stack it like you see over there. And at some point, like when we were winding down this hay, the rain was coming, and so what we did is we pull a wagon in here and we just throw it off on the front. That's why this stuff's all piled up like this. And then this was the last wagon, so we didn't we haven't thrown it off yet. One of the things I'm working on is scratching up this field. I'm going to put it into teff grass here, hopefully in another week. This is the other end of our barn with the hay in it. And I'm going to try to climb up here without breaking my neck so you can kind of see. I'm kind of holding that space down there to park some equipment in. We'll continue to stack this, and we may take it all the way up to these trusses. And we're not a big farm, and this is, to us, this is a big barn, 32 by 88, 16 feet to the top of the, to the bottom of the trusses. And I'll probably do a video on the barn as well. But to us, this is a big barn, and if we stack the hay to the top of the, if we stack hay to the bottom of the trusses, and we go all the way out and all the way over, we can put 6,000 bales of hay in this barn. And that's, you know, I'd like to be able to do 5,000 at some point. We're not quite there yet, but trust me, we do enough hay that makes a person sleep really good at night. And I'm just very, very pleased with the hay that we've got. You know, we worked like Trojans trying to get it off. By the time we get to a second cutting, hopefully a fair amount of this hay will be gone. And we'll have more space to put it. I've got a list, and if everybody comes that says they want hay, then we'll sell every bale we got in here. So that's the hay update, kind of long. June 2020, and we're plugging away and kind of doing our thing here in the mountains of Virginia. And appreciate you watching. Hope you'll subscribe, hit the like button, and feel free to comment. And we'll talk to you later.